A colossal extraterrestrial entity known as Jovian accidentally crashes into Earth, originating from the planet Jupiter, which brings about an apocalypse. The scene cuts to 20 years later with two gigantic entities known as Brother Deneb and Sister Vega being in a birthing place, which is one of the many these extraterrestrial entities have synthesized in order to artificially give birth to semi-sentient creatures in their shape. The process in which these creatures are created in is a little obscured, but it seems a fertilized seed originating from the Jovian clown, the one who descended into the earth, gets inserted into dirt, which would in theory grow to become what is the semi-sentient being. Due to tectonic movements of the earth, the results are not ideal and many of the experiments die or come out deformed, not suitable for their purpose. Sister Vega continuing to talk to Brother Deneb, they find a living creature within the wall, but their excitement is short-lived as it turns out to be deformed. Just when they are willing to leave the site with no hope of a fully functional creature, Brother Deneb finds another within the wall which turns out to be perfect, exceeding both Sister Vega and Brother Deneb's expectation. Carefully setting the creature down, they note how human-like it is, labeled as Attempt 47, indicating the number of the creatures that they have extracted from the specific site, referring to it as the clown meat. They explain to Attempt 47 how it was made of a seed from the Jovian clown, their sire who descended to Earth. They explain how he is more like a walking tumor in the birthing pit who is supposed to make a journey across the land into the cocoon that their sire, the Jovian clown, has made around himself, being a massive tent. The purpose of this is to give the Jovian clown some sort of aspiration to help pacify their condition, something they're not very specific about, which in return would help the rest of the extraterrestrials to go back to their own planet, Jupiter. So it seems that the return is dependent on the Jovian clown. Because of the mode of the travel that the ringmasters, the extraterrestrials, use, being through undergrounds connecting to each other, Attempt 47 must embark on this journey alone, as it wouldn't survive in the long-term underground travel. This miniature clown made of meat, or in other words, clown meat, goes through parts of what used to be streets, towns and buildings, meeting a group of clowns in a car, vibing together and listening to music. Subsequently, they introduce him to Bruno, who explains he is actually a human and has face paint to blend in with the clowns who have invaded Earth. He continues that he eats clowns, or at least the failed attempts of ringmasters who implant meat inside cliffs or birthing pits in hopes of creating walking tumors like Attempt 47. Clown meat. Bruno explains that he sees a person in clown meat and wouldn't eat him, but knows he is not a human despite looking like one and having similar shape, as he doesn't have a belly button, meaning he didn't have a natural birth. Bruno then explains things went wrong when the weeping clown started it all, with all the other clowns descending with him, saying that he used to like Earth. Clown meat, literally being born today, is not too familiar with this world, who after each stage gets taken by the snake-like hands of the ringmasters to be taken to the next stage. After collecting some fuel for the cool clowns in the car, Keith, Devin, Izzy, and the friends, they pick up a couple more friends known as Corpse Liquor and Knives. It's a mystery how they fit so many in the small car, but it's a clown car, so it's kind of like a gimmick. As the name suggests, Corpse Liquor licks the corpses of clowns or the failed attempts from the birthing pit, telling Clown Meat to get back when he's ripe, which to Corpse Liquor is when Clown Meat is dead. Ripe, meaning dead for him. Knives, on the other hand, holds a knife in her hand and has a clown mask, trying to also blend in with the clowns. Despite being described of being friendly, at first encounter she seems hesitant to interact with Clown Meat, and as we learn in the future encounters, she is not really a fan of clowns. The more stages Clown Meat goes through, the more friends the group of clowns collect in the domain of the hobo, who each have their own colorful personalities with their own problems to tell. A new character joins the people in the domain of the hobo known as the woman in the cave, who entails her cruel past, being kidnapped by someone called Mikhail. She gives telltale signs that she was assaulted and kept as a prisoner, men who gave her a crude nickname for a certain part of her body. It's clear the terrible things that they did to her, which she ends by saying that they all died. She also explains that she never knew that real clowns could speak, which means that the ones in the car could actually be humans disguised as clowns, alongside the others. Characters such as Bruno, Knives, and Corpse Licker, and as Bruno explained, they eat clowns, which are most likely the cultivated meat clowns from the wall. It seems as if when the Jovian clown landed on Earth from Jupiter, other clowns were also taken or followed, being trapped here. This in a way caused an apocalypse with many humans going on a rampage, killing, and committing other crimes. For some reason, many humans disguised themselves as clowns, putting face paints on, which could potentially mean that the other clowns killed humans or hunted them down, as they seem to be a lot more powerful, or something even more ambiguous. Despite all that, the main clown's ringmaster seem to want to go back to their planet Jupiter, hence why they create the meat clowns to convince the Jovian clown to take all the clowns back, as he seems to be depressed and self-destructive, hence why not wanting to go back. Speaking to Bruno, asking him if he's ever eaten clowns, Bruno, in an ashamed manner, confesses that he has, but he was forced to do so as he was starving. He explains that they were nothing like clown meat, as they were deformed and suffering, so he essentially put an end to their misery, or at least that's how he's trying to come to terms with it. Knives, being the daughter of Bruno, asks curiously if clown meat is actually a real boy or man, asking him about his privates. It's then revealed that he's actually an it, not a human, which displays how human-like he actually is, which explains why Bruno cares about him so much and feels ashamed of confessing of eating others like him. It doesn't take long before clown meat gets some more fuel and passes it to the cool kids in the clown car. The group collects another person given the name MeatRide, who is known as the cook who kills and cooks clown creature attempts, eating them on the regular and feeding others. The group in the car refer to him as the cool badass man, yet warning clown meat to be careful around him, as he can be dangerous to him and kill and cook him, as after all, he's a clown. That's when clown meat is a little confused, saying that he would cook clowns, so he would also cook and kill the group in the car when they reveal that they are not really clowns. That's when clown meat goes to MeatRide, trying to speak to him, but instead MeatRide sings poetry and completely dismisses him, not being used to talk to his meals and see them as anything more than that. Going away to speak to the woman in the cave, she explains how MeatRide was the one who actually saved her from the others who kept her in the basement. She explains that he killed the men who kept her as a prisoner, assaulting her and even cutting off her legs when she was little. Despite being her savior, she continues that he killed them without even knowing that she was trapped in there, which could indicate that he wanted them as meat to cook, or that they were other dangerous rival bandits whom he wanted to kill and get rid of. That's when he finds the woman in the cave in the basement and frees her, saying that despite her legs being gone and assaulted to such a degree, her will still is unbroken and she should fight on, displaying what a good man MeatRide truly is. Despite all of that, the trauma has taken its toll on her and she prefers to stay in the cave even in this safe spot, as she explains her trauma keeps her scared of others and she prefers to be isolated. Talking to Bruno and Knives some more, he asks Bruno a very difficult question if he has ever eaten a human before, to which he stays silent. This points a horrifying image of how, despite being so nice, someone like Bruno even has committed the worst type of crimes in order to survive in this world. Knives, on the other hand, is very dismissive and keeps referring to clown meat as it, as he isn't human. Collecting some more fuel, the group collects another human disguised as a clown called Spit Roast, who has gut mental disorder, unable to make intelligible sounds. As Clown Meat goes to speak to the woman in the cave again, who had a very crude nickname, Clown Meat suggests another nickname for her, the Lila Designs, as he saw a sweater in part of the town that he was traversing through, saying how just like the sweater, talking to this lady makes Clown Meat feel warm and soft, so he refers to her with this name. The lady accepts this name but shortens it to Delilah, saying how much more she likes this name. This displays how horribly she had been treated, being stripped of any self-dignity and worth, happy with a nicer name Clown Meat gives her, even to this day referring to herself with the horrible nickname that she was given, until Clown Meat gave her a different one. This time around, trying to talk to Bruno and Knives, Bruno in a nice manner explains that he's tired today and prefers to talk another the time, which might suggest that he had a rough day and had to kill, with Knife simply telling Clown Meat to leave her alone and not talk to her, which Bruno tries to tell her to be nice to Clown Meat and not so hostile. Going through another part of town close to Seattle, Clown Meat encounters floating clown heads which would attach to him and kill him if not evade it. This starts to depict what has come of Earth since Jovian Clown descended. Getting back to the safe place known as the Domain of the Hobo, another person joins the crowd known as the Miner, who doesn't hesitate to ask Clown Meat to leave as humans eat clowns like clown meat. Despite that, he lingers and likes hanging out with these toughened humans in the apocalypse who all seem to have a sweet tooth for the Earth clowns born from the birthing walls. Talking to Delilah, she explains how much she appreciates Clown Meat and that she considers him a friend and looks forward to see him again next time. Talking to the Miner once more, it comes out of its hole, revealing that it is not a human and also not a clown, but something else known as a deepling, covering its face with a human mask, unlike the humans who disguise themselves as clowns. This entity wants to keep its identity safe and tells Clown Meat to keep it a secret. So it becomes clear there are more entities in this world than just humans and clowns. Going to a place known as Californication, a shopping center, Clown Meat encounters Kenny and Donovan, who know about Clown Meat, told by the hand clowns. Despite looking like clowns, they actually have belly buttons, which suggests that they are actually human in disguise. They then instruct them to speak to an entity known as the Nose Wall, something sent by the hand clowns, actually being a clown himself. Finally encountering Nosewall, he resembles some sort of an octopus, entailing that he has accomplices with Brother Deneb, the clown hand from the beginning. It then continues that Clown Meat is the chosen one amongst so many that have died before him. The horrible truth is then revealed that for Clown Meat, many other attempts or clown creatures must die, so he will be able to get to the Jovian Clown. The Nosewall, clearly not happy to go, in a resentful way refers to Clown Meat as his sire before exploding, which makes Clown Meat sob and weep in sadness, not wanting anyone else to die for him, wishing for a better and gentler world. That's when Deneb appears, referring to Nosewall with little significance, calling him just Gestational Wall 37 Attempt 11, further explaining that he only had 8 more days to live by the rate of his decay. This reveals that there are many gestational or birthing walls throughout the world and many attempts were made, with Clown Meat being the most perfect of all previous attempts, something that has been done for over 20 years. After speaking to some new people disguising themselves as clowns in the Californication place, Clown Meat goes back to the Domain of the Hobo, where he speaks some more to the Deepling. It explains that it's from beneath the ground and only comes out because now humans are dealing with the space clowns, which has made it safe to come out. As it explains, humans love killing, especially those that don't look like them. That's why the Deepling dresses like a human even though not really convincing, in order to blend in and stay safe. Going back to the Californication and speaking to Kenny and Donovan, they explain that the reason behind humans wearing clown makeup. It's not because they are scared of the clowns, but if they don't wear makeup, they start having thoughts of moving to the massive tent in Vancouver, which the Jovian Clown set up. As soon as it descended on Earth, many humans were moved to camps, not knowing what this extraterrestrial is, being on defense. These thoughts become so severe that will slowly make humans go mad and commit severe crimes, some even instantly losing their minds. It's also not clear what happens to the people that go to the tent, but they never come back. Kenny continues that he was in one of the camps where they distributed information and makeup, where he had a problem how people were treated by the military. But that's when, to make an example of him, protesting, they removed his eyes and put a large X on his forehead to mark him. The military eventually abandoned all the camps as the more clowns coming out of the large tent scared them. So it's not clear if the clowns are harmful at all, but they sure are scary, and their main goal is to convince the Jovian Clown to get everyone back to their planet. But one thing for the fact is that all the humans stay in one place and don't travel anymore because the towns are very dangerous. Speaking to a girl called Audrey, she goes by the name Twinkle now, explaining that she's the sister of Ben, or otherwise known as Twinkle. She continues that there used to be many dogs around, but as the clowns came, humans started eating them to survive, with Kenny, the father, even eating one. This possibly suggests that the people went mad and hostile as everything fell apart, eating what they could. Humans, animals, pets, or even clowns being a horrible world, which explains why Bruno even ate so many clowns and even humans. Donovan and Kenny used to be married to a woman called Cynthia, who had a daughter who loved her very much, someone who decorated a tree to a Christmas tree to commemorate the passing of the mother. The daughter used to be angry at her for leaving the biological father and marrying Donnie and Kenny, but seeing how kind they are, she started loving them too. These two men started taking care of the children, Ben, who is Twinkle, Audrey, who is Twinkle, and Mikey, the skater with Down syndrome. And ever since, they have been in Californication, the shopping center, to stay safe and not go to town to pose themselves to the dangerous clowns. This brings the story to an end, with the current game just being a demo, with much more left to explore when the full game comes out, knowing who Jovian Clown is and why he descended on Earth, of all planets. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to stay tuned for more by hitting on the subscribe button and the notification bell. As always, it's been your host Star, and I will see you on the next one. Have a fantastic day.